Coach, what'd you make of that one?
I thought we did a lot of things well on the checking side of the game tonight, like our sticks and our ability to be in shot lanes, I think was an important thing for us tonight, and I thought we had a good effort from our goaltender, and it was a good win overall.
Scoring 16 seconds in sort of make it easier to lock the game plan?
Well, I don't know if we wanted to lock it down at 16 seconds into the game, but the one thing that Utah does well is they slow the neutral zone down a lot, and if teams dump pucks in on them, they're very good at breaking it out. So I thought we had a hard time generating any zone time tonight to allow us to play a little bit more in the offensive zone, but at the end of the day, we stuck with it on the checking side and found a way to win.
Dustin has obviously been exceptional these two games. I was looking at his home stats. Like, he's got above, like, higher than .930 save percentage at the Saddledome this year. Have you noticed something like him doing things well at home?
He was that way last year too. If you remember, his numbers at home were really good. So I don't think there's really anything to it. I mean, when we were on the road before the Tampa game, his game was really trending in the right direction as well. So I think he's just, he worked on his game a little bit when he had some time off there, and then he was the last two starts, and in particular tonight, he was excellent.
Bigger picture, 6-2-1 in your last 9. What do you like about what you're seeing right now?
There was the stretch where we weren't getting the results, but I thought some of the play was similar to what we're seeing now. So unfortunately, we didn't get the score, the stat that mattered at the end of the night wasn't in our favor, but I think we're doing a better job of, sticking with the game plan. When we were, in a tough stretch in October, I thought we beat ourselves a fair bit. We did a lot of things really well, but there's always one or two things that cost us. Now we're not seeing that quite as often. So I think the guys have kind of recommitted to the 60-minute thing.
You described that in October. Like, was there a confidence that it was going to get fixed because you guys were doing things right and there were mistakes that you could erase from the game? Yeah,
fixable for sure. And a lot of it is puck play. But when you're in a stretch like we were in October, guys they're not doing it because they don't care about the result. They're doing it because they want to try to help the team win. And I felt like at times we got ourselves into that, whether it was taking a penalty at a time because they were a little too aggressive somewhere, or they're trying to do a little bit too much with the puck that ends up in a turnover that ends up in the back of the net. Now I feel like it's just playing and trusting the process more than anything.
What do you see from Yegor Sharangovich the last couple of games here?
He's been way harder on the puck, and because he's been harder on the puck, he's had it a lot more often. So now, to me, he's back to being more of a threat, coming through the neutral zone, and even where he scored his goal tonight, he was right in front of the net. Mm-hmm.
When this team scores first, what kind of energy shift do you notice on the bench?
Yeah, I think you do notice it. I mean, that's a key thing when a team's coming in on a back-to-back. It was important for us to try to get off to a good start. Now, like I said earlier, 16 seconds in, you don't see that very often. But I think it gets the crowd into the game, too, for a 5 o'clock game where normally it isn't quite there yet, like it would on an 8 o'clock Saturday night start. But anyways, like I said, I just felt after that goal went in, we did enough on the checking side to allow us to win the game.
We've seen some consistency in these lines as well. Are you liking what you're seeing from the combinations?
I have, yeah. Over the last little bit, there seems to be, I've talked a lot about Naz and Farabee. There's been some connection between the two of them, and since Yegor's been out there, there's something with that line. I do like the Frost line. They're a line that I think has made some plays, and they've been more dangerous than maybe what they're seeing on the scoreboard. And the Backlund line over the last handful of games, I feel like is starting to really come around as well. And tonight, even though they played limited minutes, they were our fourth liner. The Beecher line was the one line that was establishing a bit of a forecheck, and a lot of that had to do with Adam's size and his great stick, but they were really good for us tonight as well.
It seems like, I believe it's been about a month since Yan Kuznetsov came up, and it seems since then you've had a really well-defined top four defense. Mm-hmm. It seems like the roles everybody has are really carved out now. What have you seen from him that's allowed everything to sort of settle out in your defensive pairings?
He's not trying to be something that he isn't. That's maybe the the one thing that I would say about him, he understands his game and he understands what we need out of him. It's not to be generating offense or up in the rush. He needs to be a guy that's hard to play against on the defending side. And in doing that, he's allowing Mackenzie to be freed up a little bit more. So I think he's been one of the best stories for us over the last month and a bit. He's been excellent, and it's been pretty consistent with it. So I go back to giving a lot of credit to the guys with the Wranglers over the last couple of years for making sure he was ready to play when the opportunity came for him.
You mentioned, or with it being an earlier game time, just the crowd maybe not quite as into it.
Yeah.
Obviously, that Longberg fight helps a lot with that. Just what did that do for your bench as well?
Anytime there's a situation like that, the bench gets pretty excited for sure. Like Ryan is the ultimate team player when it comes to stuff like that. So we sensed we got to shift a little momentum here because we weren't generating much of anything. So he did what he does best for sure.